You're listening to the Matador Beat.
Good morning, Raiderland. My name is Mateo Rosiles, the opinions editor at the Daily Toreador, and you're listening to the Matador Beat, where we talk all things tech and what's going on in the world. Stay tuned. Good morning, Raiderland, and welcome to the Matador Beat. I'm Mateo Rosiles, the opinions editor here at the Daily Toreador, and today I'm joined with
Bippert. I'm the multimedia editor.
And Natalie Cervantes, the features editor.
And today we're going to be talking about all things Texas Tech and what's going on since the first week of school started. Okay, so let's start off with some big changes to the Daily Toreador. One of them is that we're only printing once a week. As our editor-in-chief announced last Monday in our newspaper that we will only be going to one print a week, which will be every Thursday. How do y'all feel about that?
I think it's a good thing because not as many people are on campus, so having that one, gives everyone the chance to see the print.
It's a necessary change that needed to be made. With COVID-19 and everything, a lot of things are changing, especially news.
I also think it gives us some more creative freedom with what we put in print. It allows us to really focus on digital content and what we're putting out there, like this podcast. And of course, Autumn, you're putting out a lot more videos about what's going on around campus. So it allows us to be a little bit more creative. And speaking of which, putting out digital content, a lot of things are coming to the opinion section for this year. First off is this podcast, The Matador Beat, which I'm so excited that this is our first one. And then also coming to the opinion section is that we're putting together a Spotify playlist for your walk to class. Our managing editor here, Mallory, is putting together different playlists for your different moods. So be sure to look out for those in the newspaper with the Spotify codes at the very bottom of my section. And just remember to scan those and start listening as you walk around campus. What's also happening is that since sports is somewhat lackluster this year with the different changes and with COVID-19, start seeing some more opinions on the sports section and also within my own section. Just because, yes, sports may be gone, but major leagues and minor leagues are still going on. So there's always going to be opinions, there's always going to be sports, and we just want to deliver it to you in a different way and highlight some of the Texas Tech alumni football players or baseball players going on and what their journey is taking them. Which also leads me to my next topic, athletics. This year is going to be really, really interesting, guys. So last week we got releases from Texas Tech Athletics regarding tailgating. As some of you may have heard, there will be no more tailgating. Tailgating as in sanctioned by the university, but there will be personal tailgating allowed. How do y'all think that's going to make pre-gaming at football games a little bit more different?
I mean, this year football is definitely going to have a different feel to it. I think we all knew there were going to be big changes and that one of the things that would change is pre-game and post-game experiences as well as during the game experience. So it doesn't really come to as a shock to me. At least we're getting sports. We had, since March. It's been a while until just recently when the NBA came back. There really wasn't any sports. So I think, take it with a grain of salt. At least we've got something.
Yeah. What do you think, Natalie?
I think that the university made the right decision to, do that. But it doesn't mean that fans can't still experience football. Like Autumn said, there's still sports. You can watch from the comfort of your own home, and you can even buy a cutout photo of yourself and have yourself present.
Yes.
At the game.
I find that absolutely hilarious, but amazing at the same time because for $50 you can get a cutout photo of yourself and place it in the stadium.
And then you'll be at every game.
I just may have to end up doing that just because. And what's also new is the ticket prices for students. $25 a piece for every game that will be sold the Monday before the game.
Tickets go on sale the week of the game at Monday, 7 a.m.
Are y'all going to be up to buy your tickets?
I mean, people wait in line to getting games. They can wake up early
And get a ticket.
and get a ticket.
Yeah, I think they set it at a fair price, and students probably only go to a couple games anyway, so for the students looking to go to a game, they could make it with the reduced capacity and everything. So.
Of course, and I know in the past that we've had a problem with like the student section being really packed. So this year, having students pay and knowing how many students are in the section is really going to help keep those COVID numbers down. My only issue is that it's a little bit too pricey for me, just because like we're college students, we're broke sometimes. So it's just like I really want to experience Texas Tech football, especially that's my favorite sport of all Texas Tech football. Athletics, but it's just like now I have to wake up early to make sure I get a seat. I have to pay that $25, and if I want to go to more than 3 games, I'm breaking even with the student athletic fee that was refunded to us, which I'm not upset about, but at the same time is like, I don't know, it's just like it's not going to be the same as in-person games as it used to be.
I mean, definitely none of this is going to be the same. There's some heartbreak in all areas, but I'm just hoping that we can get through the football season at least without having sports shut down again. I know that the Big 12 is one of the only conferences that is going to continue their gameplay. So,
and earlier, I guess this week we just got word that volleyball just released a schedule. So it's like it's slowly returning back to normal. Like we're slowly starting to get more athletics, which I'm really, really excited about. But yeah, it's still just going to get some adjusting to.
I hope that they, when everything's back to normal, that they give us our student athletic, what's it called? Fee, like put it back in so students are able to.
I mean, maybe by spring, if we can keep these COVID numbers down, and we can probably have another spring semester and spring sports in full capacity, which I really hope. I'm really excited for baseball this year if we do. But speaking about keeping the COVID numbers down and everything new at Tech, what are your thoughts on your first week back at campus?
I wasn't at campus too often. I had one in-person class. So that was, a bit, it's an adjustment to get back to normal, but overall I think the campus is like handling everything really well, and it was exciting to be back in that one class, not gonna lie.
In Autumn, I know you had a class in the Allen Theater at the sub. How was that?
I did. So the Allen Theater sits about 1,200 people.
Oh wow.
So I mean, our class is 400 people. So there is room, definitely, for social distancing. We're sitting every other seat. It's very strange. It's not how a traditional class feels or looks. There's not anywhere to put your laptops, take notes. You're holding it in your lap. I think that's one thing that Tech didn't account for necessarily is students need to take notes, want to take notes. And with all these new classroom settings, it's making it even difficult to take notes, which is kind of pretty
important.
Basic. Yeah.
And speaking of new classroom settings, Natalie, you did a story on outside classrooms.
Yes.
How is that working?
I did the story on outdoor classes, and the professors were definitely they were like, if this doesn't work out, if students have too many concerns, then we'll move to an online setting. But they had thought of many things, and they, it was a safer option than being in an enclosed classroom that's really small. And yeah.
I mean, my problem with outdoor classes is the weather in West Texas is unpredictable.
Yes. We have a saying here for people that are native to Lubbock, like me. We say, if you don't like the weather, stay 5 minutes, it'll change automatically.
So, what happens when it's a downpour in the middle of class? Like, they didn't think it was going to rain, and then it rains. Or, once it starts getting cold.
Yes.
Like,
I have no idea. They have tents set up at some of the outdoor locations, And like I said, the professors will work around
Whatever
the weather
challenges.
and the students, whatever challenges. Which is unfortunate because, like what Autumn was saying, is like note taking and everything. But it's just a bit of adjustment for everybody.
Yes, that's something that's never been done before at
Yeah.
Tech, I don't think. But yeah, I have in-person classes, and I'm basically stay in media and communications all day. It's really interesting seeing like our biggest classroom is usually in the little rotunda part of the building, and it's like, what? Oh, it's just weird to see like a class that used to feel that like public speaking being cut down to so many people and seeing it so empty.
Yeah.
Like, geez, I had a public speaking class there freshman year, and it was packed to the brim. And now I have a social media class there, and it's virtually empty. It's just like,
It's strange.
Yeah.
And the hallways are empty.
I mean, this building is normally packed with students.
Yes.
And walking to class or going anywhere, it's empty. It's like a ghost town.
it's like I see students at the sub, and like usually the student union building is packed, but now it's just like, are students even back on campus? Like, I
Right.
don't know if like they're just hiding from me or I'm just not seeing them. Even the library's empty, and it's just so weird. It's like a strange atmosphere now at Tech.
I think one concern that a lot of people have with being back on campus is, are the people that are on campus even following the protocols set in place?
Yes, one of my staffers did an evaluation, if you would, all the places, like all the hot spots on campus, like so the rec center, the student union, the library. And I read his story and I was like, I never thought of that. Are we actually following these? And he surprisingly said, like, everyone is, except the rec. And I was like, I understand the rec center, like, to a degree, because why would you want to wear a mask? Like, especially, like, the Tech mask that they gave us is super thick, it's super bulky, and it's hard to breathe in just walking normally. So I get, like, why people would want to take them off, but that. So, I don't know, it's just interesting to see, like, everyone even is still wearing masks even outside walking, and there's no one around them. So it's like, I think it's just now becoming second nature that you always have to grab your mask to go out.
Well, like, it's not just the mask. It's small things.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna maybe end up being a slippery slope. Definitely we don't want to become the next University of North Carolina.
Yes, let's not.
First, you're not sanitizing your hands enough, or you're going through the wrong exits even. And it's just, the first week back we were all really good about it, but are we gonna all be really good
takes
about
some
it forever?
effort.
Yeah.
From everyone.
Yes, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. So far with our COVID numbers, we've been keeping them pretty stable. Not a huge spike as everyone thought was going to happen, which I'm so excited and so happy that we have been able to pretty much this week keep it lower. I mean, it could be lower, but, college students will be college students, as I said, in my opinion, that people still want to party, people still want to go with friends, and it's like, yes, I know that's something that we want to do, but at the same time, we still have to keep in mind that this is a pandemic. It is still affecting a lot of people at this point.
Well, and I think that attitude that some college students have about, I just want to see my friends, has definitely reflected in case numbers. I know, for example, in Lubbock, one of the biggest age groups that's had the most cases is 20 to 29. And I mean, that's us.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that is true. I'm looking at the numbers now. At this time, we're recording this on Friday, so before we release this on Monday, at the time, we only have 260 cases reported. Only about... it's not bad. 84 of them are recovered, so that's really good. 176 is still active. But at the same time, we're still able to keep that low. We're not getting like 600 cases a day like some universities. So we're still able to keep that low. So as long as we still remain vigilant, still follow the Texas Tech commitment guidelines, we should still be able to remain open for the rest of the semester if we keep it low still. Speaking of which, the president of Texas Tech University, President Skuvanik, held a news conference on Monday, the first day back, and I was fortunate to go there and ask some questions. He said that in order to help students reinforce the idea of like remain social distance, remain having that mask on, and remember to hand sanitize as often as you can, he's going to start the Texas Tech Commitment Crew, which is going to be students around campus. He hasn't released the full like detailed report on that, on how it's going to look like, but apparently students will be around campus giving out coupons. We don't know if it's going to be like food coupons or what it's going to be, but he's going to give out coupons to students who are enforcing that thing, who's always remaining or reminding themselves to wear the mask, people who are socially distanced when they're eating or when they're around people. So what do you think? Is it going to help us or not?
I think a reward system is always good. I don't know how COVID friendly that is, but it is good.
A good idea.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yes, if it's done right, it should be able to help.
If it's done correctly.
And do we know how they're going to select these students?
He has not released that information yet, but I think who on staff said that they saw someone? Was it you, Autumn?
I believe I saw some people going around handing out some I saw some cheerleaders handing out some Texas Tech gear. That's my best assumption of what they were doing, unless it was back to school spirit. But
that's true.
On a Friday.
I mean, sometimes we just need that spirit on a Friday, but yeah, he hasn't released that information, and once he does, remember always check our website at thedailytoreador.com. And also follow our social medias because we're constantly tweeting out any updates that we're getting from the administration. But me personally, I'm a college student, like I said. I like free food. I like free stuff. So if it's
definitely a good reward system.
Yeah, if all I have to do is wear a mask and get caught wearing a mask, then I'm going for sure keep on wearing that mask just because like I want free lunch some days. But also, what we're going to start here at the opinion section is that soon, probably in the next coming week or the week after, is that we're going to start publishing COVID letters. These COVID letters will be from student leaders such as our president, Hunter Heck of SGA, and her administration, and several student athletes who are writing these letters to help encourage the students. Help encourage you to wear that mask. Remember to follow the Texas Tech commitment guidelines. And also just remember to keep hope. Like, we're in this together. Let's remain in this together. And soon this will pass and will remain Texas Tech. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's great. I think it's awesome for people to encourage, like, that, yes, this is happening. This is what we've got to do. And it'll be over one day.
Yes.
You just gotta do what you need to do for it to be over.
And it'll be interesting to hear different point of views from leaders around campus. That'll be very exciting.
And hopefully more and more leaders will start joining this little project of mine, just so like leaders from the cultural honor societies or cultural or student organizations can start talking to their culture and try to help promote these ideas. Yeah. Because all we want is to make sure everyone is remaining safe and being healthy. And we want every Texas Tech student to have an amazing first year experience if you're a first year, or remaining like a good last year here at Texas Tech, and just reinforce those ideas of being safe. And I also want to open it to all of you who are listening to this podcast. If you are a student here at Texas Tech, I encourage you, please reach out to me at theopinions@dailytoreador.com. Email me that you are interested in writing a guest column, and I'm then more than happy to reach out to you and start helping you formulate that, because I want to also hear from the students, what are you doing what are you doing to help stop the spread of COVID? What are you doing to help others in this time of need? And I just want to showcase that Texas Tech is really like a community, because we are the Red Raider family, and we do unite under the double T, and we do sing the Matador song with pride at every event that we can. So what's going on with your section for this week? What can they look forward to?
This week we are working on getting updates from the going band and their plans, and the cheer team and their plans for this semester. We know football's plans, but we don't know their plans, so it'll be good to get that story.
And what about you, Autumn? What about your section?
My section's just working on covering what's on campus, showing the people that aren't here all the time or maybe still at home what campus even looks like.
Yes.
So we're going to be covering some, hopefully, events, covering just everything, every aspect of campus life.
And creating more videos for our viewers.
Of course.
We had made a word on the street talking to students that came back from campus, and they were all just as hopeful and excited to be back.
Yeah, I really thought that maybe some people would be concerned, but all of them were like, yes, I'm so happy to be back on campus. I miss it. So that was, great.
Perfect. And also just remember to follow our social medias at the Daily Torador just to see if when Autumn or Natalie will be out by the sub asking for interviews because they love talking to y'all so much.
Yes, Natalie will talk to you forever outside of the sub.
So if you just need a friend, come see Natalie. But for my section, all I have planned for this week is starting to release more opinion content. Also get the opinions of actual students who are in classrooms and what they thought about this week and what techniques to improve on. And also maybe a letter from the student region about COVID-19 practices on campus. But I think that's all the time we have for today, Red Raiders. Thank you for listening to the Matador Beat. Be sure to pick up your copy of the Daily Torador on Thursday, as it will be all new content, and always visit our website at thedailytorador.com to stay up to date on breaking news and what's happening around campus. I'm Mateo, and I'll catch you next time. Remember, strive for honor evermore. Long live the Matadors. Wreck 'em.
To the Matador Beat.